The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Anthony Dorsett, DeMontre Moore, and Newy Scruggs.
What's up? What's up? We back in the house. It's the Players Lounge, brought to you by Aristocat Gaming. And look who we got in here today. We got a new guy in here, but you might know him. We got Nate Newton with us in here today.
Yes, sir.
Got DeMontre Moore in here with us today. And Barry Church is here.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm the host today, Mr. Anthony Dorsett Jr. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
So, hey, look. I know we've been waiting to get into this. Cowboys, what they do last night, they got back on that W, right? So now we on the right track right now. You know, Cowboys won the game last night, of course, beating the Vegas Raiders in Vegas 31-16. And it looked pretty good last night, guys. I mean, I'm looking at the stats. I'm looking at everything. The new guys that came in last night, you know, we got two new dudes on the defense that we just got in town, Quentin Williams and Logan Wilson. They both played a major role in the game last night. Logan Wilson actually took the most snaps out of any of the linebackers. All right, Quentin Williams came in, and what did he do? He was able to get his first sack here as a Cowboy and a half of one, too, as well. You know what I mean? And then not to mention, you know, we had guys coming back like Kalen Carson, who came back off of IR, was able to play every defensive snap at the DB position. And, you know, it just looked pretty good last night for the guys. You know what I'm saying? Especially after having a tumultuous few weeks that's been going on around here, being able to get back.
Good word. Yeah, he threw that in there nice.
Being able to get back on that W, you know. But I'm gonna throw it out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I would really want to know. Starting with you, Church. You know, what did you see that you like? First of all, let's start with the defense. What did you see from the defense that you liked last night?
Defensively, finally, I saw that front seven and that defense come alive, man. It's great when you can get that interior pressure. Yeah. When you can not close the pocket from the outside, but when you can get that pressure from the inside. That's what quarterbacks hate. You know, every quarterback that I talk to, they say it's all well and good if you guys, you know, can come around the edge and get pressure that way, because they can step up in the pocket and they can still go out there and orchestrate the offense. But when you get that frontal pressure, like those defensive tackles were doing to Geno Smith last night, it makes things hard. It muddies up a lot of stuff out there. So those defensive tackles definitely came alive. I love what I saw from Clark. Love what I saw from Quentin Williams. Odigizua was able to, you know, come up there and do some things himself. But I loved what I saw from the front seven. And then when you look at the secondary, I mean, first time pretty much all season long where you saw contested. Like there wasn't guys just running scot-free. Early on it was a little bit, but as the game wore on, you saw the communication. You saw that secondary go out there, and they were contesting pretty much every pass Geno had out there. So I loved what I saw from there. But overall, I was just happy that this team didn't play down to the level of competition. You know, they did what they were supposed to do against a team that you were more talented in, that you were supposed to go out there and stomp on their necks and make sure they knew that they didn't belong on that field. And that's exactly what this team did. It wasn't like Arizona where they let Brissett come in there and do his thing, or Russell Wilson come in there and do their thing. They came in there, they did exactly what they were supposed to do and stomp the Raiders out. Let's hopefully that continues the rest of the season.
Hey, Trey, let me ask you a question. And, you know, and you've played, of course, on that D-line, and you've moved around from the left side to the right side, played inside, played outside. What did you see last night as far as that made you optimistic about moving forward and what we see in Quentin and Kenny Clark working together and on the outside?
For me, man, like Barry said, anytime that you get that interior pressure constantly down your face, it naturally made other people play better. Like, it wasn't just Quentin Williams came in, for him to do what he did just 1 week into the system right off the back. It proved everything that I was saying beforehand. Eberflus doesn't have a complex defense. You come in there, it's 4-3 wide, back end help the front end help the back. And last night was the first time that you've seen the cohesiveness in a long time. Since the New York Jets game when they had five pressure? This is the first time that you've seen that type of pressure dial in. And not only that, we talk about Quentin Williams, but we got to talk about some people that's already been here. James Houston, he's been the team sack leader. Constant pressure this whole time. Well, now that he's showing that he's getting those pressures, you got Kenny Clark inside. You got Quentin Williams demanding a double team. It left James Houston with a lot more one-on-one rushes to where we seen him living in the back. And we seen the young pup coming in there. He get a safety. He's getting pressure off the head. Like, Quentin Williams single-handedly changed the dynamic of that. And then even Logan Wilson. Like, these two new additions, that what leaves me optimistic. And not even optimistic, that leaves me going back to what Jerry was saying. I'm going to take Eberflus in this foxhole because schematically, didn't nothing change. You got him the weapons to go in. Now that you done gave the carpenter his tools, guess what? He's showing what he can do. But it's against the Raiders, so I don't want to get too excited about it. I want to
Get excited, baby. Get excited.
Oh, my bad, Nate. Well, tell me what's up there.
We got, one thing is I know you got to take the small victories anytime that you can. Just definitely try to build off of. But Nate, going into the offensive side of the ball now, you know what I'm saying? We normally just got all defensive guys in here, but now that we got you in here today, tell me what you saw from as far as with the balance in the play calling and with the run game and what you saw up front with guys getting healthy and different people playing on the offensive line this week.
I like we gave up the one sack against the great player, number 90. Yeah, they can't Crosby. We gave up that one sack, but other than that, we didn't have a lot of pressure. We was balanced with the run. We kept Javonte Williams, the juggernaut. That's what we call him.
Yeah,
we kept him active. And we had other players come in and give him a spot check, which I hate. I want him to get at least 25 to 30 carries a game. We said something off air that needs to be fixed right now. No more fumbles.
Yeah.
Right. No more close fumbles or fumbles.
Not at all.
So that way coach can continue to believe in you, to continue to give you more carries. Offensive line played okay. They played well enough to beat the team that they beat last night. Dak was tremendous in how he did it once again. And I just got to compliment our two receivers.
Yes, sir.
And I'm talking about the people that say they got the all 22. Notice
the eye in the sky.
The eye in the sky. CD, thank you.
Yeah.
CD, thank you, because now Pickens is killing second. Coach, you can't put a second guy, a second corner, or a third. This dude is killing folks.
Not at all.
He's doing what he's supposed. I'm loving how these two receivers are playing together and playing off each other. That is, and Dak is finding them.
Yeah.
And he's looking over like the pre-read is telling him, CD, I'm sorry. George, here you go again.
Yeah.
And it's working. We did what we were supposed to do offensively. We had a balanced attack. We stayed balanced. We didn't get Dak hurt. My whole goal is to get Dak to the end of the season. Yeah. And they ran enough, and they had enough play-action pass. The receivers was open. Fergie, they keep dogging us.
Your boy.
Yeah,
Your
they
boy.
keep dogging us. But Fergie, we going to get them 5 and go. Get them 5 and go as long as we keep getting a touchdown.
Hey, now,
Came out there last night.
now Dak was 25 of 33 last night, 268 yards, 4 touchdowns. All right, we had 114 rushing yards. Williams was 22 rushing attempts, 93 yards. And we talked about the balance. Now there's been a little bit of a debate. We know about that as far as is George Pickens the number 1 or is he a number 2? And we've already talked about like how do we maneuver the pass, I guess you could say the passing game, to make sure that both guys are actually getting fed. Now, where do you go with this from here to say, okay, now George had that game last night that he had. CD, of course, had a pretty good game, but he didn't have the numbers that George had. Now, is it a situation here where we definitely have 2 1A receivers, or do we got a 1A and maybe a 1B, or how do y'all see that?
I think when it goes to this, I think it's kind of both of them are 1As, if you want to put it like that. They're both number 1 receivers out there, and thank goodness you got a guy in Dak Prescott who's able to understand that and able to distribute the football accordingly. And I'm sure he got with them before the game, whatever the case may be, and got with that offense and let them know, man, if you're open, I'm gonna get you to rock. Now, I'm not going to force nothing out there. That's old Dak. That's old Dak, to where if it ain't CD, I got to force it. He ain't going to do that no more. If you open or you got the one-on-one opportunity, he going to hit you with the football. And that's what you got to love about Dak Prescott. Now, we saw in the 2 previous games, Arizona and Denver, Those 2 games where out of those games, he had 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. You saw that kind of forcing. You saw that, man, I got to make a play. I gotta put the team on my back. I got to go out there and do this. And you saw what happened with that. Those interceptions, we lost those games, and it just didn't pan out. And the offense didn't produce like we knew they could produce throughout this season. But when you get that balanced attack, like Nate was talking about, you get that run game going, it opens up a lot of doors for those receivers on the outside. And Dak Prescott has done an amazing job of distributing the football. Now, if it gets to a point where one of these cats got, 10, 15 targets, the other one got 2 or 3, and it's, a game that keep going like that, I can see some frustration. But I believe you got the leadership in place to where that won't happen. At least I don't see it happening.
Right. We're talking about George Pickens and, of course, CeeDee Lamb last night. George Pickens had 11 targets, 9 of them. He went for 144. CeeDee had 7 targets. He had 5 of them, went for 66. Total 66 yards, and they both scored touchdowns. CeeDee had an 18-yard touchdown, and GP had that 37-yard touchdown where he looked like he definitely knew his way to the end zone on that one.
He looked cold on that.
Yeah.
To be that big and be able to move like that, man, it's wild. He cutting back. He looking like, one of these shifty running backs. But the man's, 6'4", 200-some pounds? Like, man, that's dangerous, though. That's dangerous, man. But I see that look on your face over there, bro. What's on your mind, bro?
I'm just so astonished, like how things can change in a week or two. Because when Jesse Holly was over there, another offensive guy, and they was asking about the 1A, 1B. I told y'all, hey, we got a 1A, 1A, and you go with the hot hand, and if you're a smart man, you stay with the hot hand. Now you talking about like, oh snap, we gonna distribute it over here and we gonna go over here, and like, I'm always gonna pull y'all chains for saying that, but like the way that you, Nui, and everybody was talking about, CD was the for sure number 1. Like, he runs the route tree and he's doing all that. And like I said, with George Pickens, he just got here. He just got a good guy. Dak is doing that, and we're seeing the evolution of Dak, but we're also seeing the evolution in George. Like, he's just now starting. Like, last night was the first time you seen him run that route tree, a reverse wheel route, catch it, then go make the cut and go score the touchdown. Like, I'm not going to say, I'm going to pick this guy over that guy, but all I'm going to say is that he's opening up the offense, because even when you don't have those 2 guys, well, you just have the threat of those 2 guys. Yes, CD didn't have the numbers last night, but when he did get it, he was effective. George was effective to where we seen Flanor go out there and is making a name for himself to where he going to demand the bag at the end of the season. You got Fergie over here saying, I showed you why Mr. Jones gave me the bag, and it just opens up everything on this offense to where it's like, wow. So what he said, I appreciate you, man. Now, if only you would have listened to me on that 10-win thing, you might have really been good.
We still got time. And secondly, I wasn't here that day. Y'all was going back and forth on the CD 1A.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You said it before then, but I'm sorry. It was the other guy.
Well, go ahead, Nate.
The thing about this is good banter. Yeah, yes. I love it. Pickens, was in Pittsburgh, and he had to deal with double coverage. He had to deal with the best corner, and he didn't have a quarterback.
There you go.
So now he has that. I don't so much worry about who is going to get the ball, because the head coach has already told you, I got these plays for CD, I got these plays for George. He even got a little bag for Perkins, 5 and under.
Bird 5 and under, man.
I hate that.
$5.
Yeah, but the thing is, for us to all have been around 1 and 2 receivers, and we have a special deal here. Oh, yeah. We haven't had this special of 2 receivers, and one is developing even more, like you say, in George. We haven't had this when Amari was here, and Bushcott was a rookie.
Yeah, CD was too young. Yeah,
he was really young. He was too young. So when is the last time you had 2 legit receivers? And I'm gonna go so far back.
I'll say your time.
I was about to say.
No, it wasn't even in my time. It was when your dad played with Tony Hill and Drew.
Really?
That's how long it's been.
So you ain't gonna say Irvin and Hart?
No, Hart went right to Tampa and showed you he wasn't.
Yeah. That's true.
I call him, bro. He went right to Tampa. He got that. He like, Irv, I got that money. Irv gonna say, now you gonna see what I feel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Say, man, Des didn't have.
Nah,
Yeah,
You can't say that either. I was like, the best receiver I could think of during Dez time
Witten.
was, well, you got Witten, but that we don't look at Witten as at the tight end. We talking about receivers. I think the best receiver I would say.
You talking about game changers.
T. Williams. Terrence Williams and Cole Beasley. And so that's what I'm saying. It's no comparison, but I'm saying like when you, it's not sad to say, but it's crazy to think like you haven't had a tandem like that with the lineage of the offense like here. Like Dak has had the number one offense. Romo had the number one offense. Bledsoe was doing good at one point in time. And for all these guys to do good, it was like, dang, like this is the first time you're seeing it. And like you said, you don't have a Witten, but you got a Fergie that's over there doing numbers. And now you have 1A, 1B, and the running back is, fairly decent. Like this, would you say, you being the OG that you are and seeing all the greatness around football, would you say that this is the most complete offense all around far as weapons, QB, and cohesiveness?
If our offensive line,
he's seen a lot of great. He's seen a lot of great.
Let me say,
Cowboys football.
If our offensive line can get up to when we buried him, had that offensive line he had, if they could get there, like I say, the two receivers gonna always take care of the running back. Or either that one great running back gonna take care of your receivers.
Yes.
We got two great receivers that would take care of the running back situation. Because his dad played with two great receivers. And they took care of one another. You just had to line up, cover two, cross the board, and that's all you could play.
That's it.
That's all you could play. Yeah. Anything else was uncivilized. You know what I'm saying?
It's disrespectful. Huh?
Don't play with me like that.
Yeah. So look, we got to pay some bills. We got to, take our first break here. But coming back, we want to definitely get into talking about some of the other cats that showed up last night. The young kid Revel and Overshawn definitely made their debuts yesterday. And then we also want to get into a little bit of the stuff talking about the true impact that Quentin Williams had last night on the inside too as well. Stay right here with us. It's Players Lounge brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming.
Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Kyle Yeomans here, sharing that same team that brought you Buffalo, bringing NFL casino games that show America's team on and off the reels. Aristocrat is changing the game with a new experience. Football fans, this means you can pick your team and play your team. Check out the Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Gambling problem? Please contact the U.S. National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Returning for the 2025 NFL season, Boss reunites with the Dallas Cowboys to drop the next chapter of their iconic collaboration. The Boss Cowboys collection fuses fashion and football once again, capturing the fearless spirit of what it means to be your own boss. Just in time for kickoff, gear up in standout styles that show your team pride with a bold edge. Available now at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, HugoBoss.com, and Boss retail stores. Hashtag be your own boss.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Celebrate the season at the Cowboys Christmas Extravaganza, powered by Reliant at the Star in Frisco. Join us every Friday through Saturday night from November 21st, yes, you heard it right, November 21st through December 20th for an electrifying holiday performance you don't want to miss out. For more details, visit thestardistrict.com.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
There you
that
go.
boy good.
Smooth.
Good. Welcome back to this Players Lounge brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming. I am Anthony Dorsett, and today we got with us the great Nate Newton.
OG.
Yeah,
Demontre Moore
there it is.
and Barry
There it
Church.
is. What's happening?
All right,
At
so
church.
Cowboys get back on the right track with that W last night, and it was a total team win. And when I say that, I mean total team win. We actually had some guys who finally made their debuts last night, and DeMario Overshawn and the young Revel kid who came back and was able to play last night. And looking at from what they were able to do and contribute, they both made some plays last night. Jerry has been talking about. We had some reinforcements
Help
coming.
is on the way.
You know what I mean? And I definitely think that this is part of what he was talking about. But as you guys watched the game last night and just seeing what Logan Wilson was able to do as a new linebacker in here, and then playing with Overshawn as well, and then what Revel was able to do on the outside anytime we went to nickel and stuff like that. How did you feel about their progress and just them getting their first snaps last night? I'm gonna start with you, Trey. Let's start with you.
For me, I'm gonna start this thing off just because I think the biggest key component is up front. Quentin Williams doing what he does. He only for a weekend he was a he was a monstrosity down there. Just everything that he was doing, it trickled off to where you seen him doing what he do, Kenny Clark doing what he does. But then you had Diggy Zula coming off the bench and being able to do that. Like when you got a 3-man rotation like that, like it is electrifying. And for the guy that I said that was going to be my Yeti Cool Cup, Logan, coming in doing what he did. He had the green dot last night, did he not? For him to have the green dot on a short week like this and play the way that he was playing, like you seen Overshawn out there not having to direct people around. Like it wasn't as so much pressure on a guy that's coming off an injury to say, hey, I need to be the captain of this, but kind of like on offense, you had a 1A and 1B with Overshawn making the plays, Wilson out there making the checks, and you seen complimentary football for the first time. So for me, I was really excited about it. And then I love what I seen for the Revel kid. I'm going to let the DBs and y'all two take that down, but the way I seen him making plays, stripping the ball, and once again, coming off a major injury like that, I cannot get my hats off. We got 3 people out of this year that it came off ACL injuries, right? Overshawn, Revel, and then you got Diggs. Well, two out of the people that was here with the rehab staff the whole time really showed you what possibly.
Don't bring up the past.
I'm sorry. My bad. You know what? Let me pass it. I had it too long. Let me go ahead and pass it like the OG said.
Don't hurt to tell the truth, though.
Don't
hurt.
Right.
Don't hurt.
But no, go ahead. Take it. You know what I was trying to.
I was just saying preach, bro. When you're saying good stuff, I'm gonna say preach.
No, that's facts.
I mean, how you look at it, Barry?
When I'm looking at this, and we talked about it yesterday on the show. We look at Eberflus and the type of defense he loves to run. He always on the better ones. He always has that guy on the second level. That's the quarterback. That's the guy that can get everybody lined up and in the right situation. Not necessarily a all-world, all-pro game changer, but he's that guy that thinks above the shoulder pads and makes sure everybody's lined up in the right spot. If we're all playing cover 2, not half playing cover 2, half playing cover 1. And I thought that's what Logan Wilson was able to do out there. When you look at it, the defenses in the past, he's had a Sean Lee. He's had a Roquan Smith. He's had a Shaq Leonard out there. And Franklin? Was
Zaire Blackman, young kid. He was behind Shaq Leonard over there. And so, yes.
He always had that quarterback of the defense. And so far this season, that wasn't there. You had, Murray and those guys trying to do what they did, but we saw the communication errors on the defense. So when you got a guy like Logan Wilson in there who's a cerebral type player, had everybody lined up, everybody was communicating on the same page, these are the type of results you're going to get. So I love what I saw from him. And he's going to be extremely beneficial, in my opinion, to Overshawn's development out there. Because when you look at it, it's not going to be on Overshawn to go out there and say, all right, guys, we're in this, we're in that, while also being that Pro Bowl, all-pro caliber linebacker. Yeah. He can sit there and say, all right, Logan, what I got this play? All right, this is my responsibility. See ball, go get ball. Let me go out there and make these plays. So I love that aspect. I think they're going to grow as a tandem and just become better and better as the season progressed. And I love what I saw from the Revel kid as well, man. You need that in the secondary, 100%.
AD, can I ask you a question? Break it down a little bit more, because I know you have been one of the most critical guys of this secondary. Darius said what he said, but I know for you were critical in the play of Diggs when you first got here, Elam and the rest of these guys. Like, talk about, for me, what did you see in the Rebels kid, and then how many snaps did he take last night? Because I think he took a lot of snaps. So, like, Are you optimistic in what you've seen from him? Do you think Jerry was right when he said, hey, help is really on the way, and he was referring to these two workhorses in Overshawn and Revel, more so in Revel?
19 snaps for Revel.
So first thing I saw last night was Deron Bland played a much better game than he played the week before.
Okay,
All right?
okay, shout out to Bland.
And then his matchup, it actually seemed like they had him on Bowers wherever he was going.
Yes.
And so he matched up well. We talked about how big he
Yeah.
was. We talked about how much of a mismatch he was. And Bland went out there and made some good plays on him. And then to have Kalen Carson come back in off of IR and to be able to play every defensive snap as well. All right, so you mentioned Diggs is gone. So, of course, we're trying to find some guys who could next man up, basically be able to fill in. And you don't want a guy that's going to just be another guy out there. You want a guy who's actually going to be able to come out there and make some plays. And granted, it was the Raiders, all right? But but the Cowboys have basically been that team that has been that breakout team for whoever is going to be on any given night. You know what I mean? So to actually be able to see that and to see that we have a little bit, I guess you could say, the depth is growing in the secondary was definitely a positive thing for me. To see Revel come out there who hasn't played in almost
Over a year.
Over a year.
It's over a year.
His last snaps were actually in college. Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So to be able to come out there and to man up your first day out there, yeah.
Live reps.
It shows a lot of promise. So I'm definitely excited about that. And my whole thing has been with the secondary hasn't been the lack of talent. It's just been about the lack of technique that has been played. You know what I mean? And I really feel like with any of these guys, once they get their technique together, like this whole secondary could turn into something very special. Of course, now with the additives of what's going on up front, in the center, and then being able to hold like one of the biggest things that I was looking at this week coming up was it was a whole thing of like people being able to look at this defense and say, oh, we can run on it, we can do this and we can do that. I felt like, and I was hoping that the impact that Quentin Williams would come in here would be so immediate to the point where, like, okay, everything that you've seen before, you could throw that out the window.
Yes.
Right.
And so basically, we were able to see that last night. And like I said, you got to build off the small victories. Okay, regardless if it was the Raiders or not, they look good. It's a momentum shift, and it's something positive to be able to build off of. Now, Nate, let me ask you this right here. Okay, with so many young guys on that O line. And last night we were able to see, I believe they only gave up one sack.
Right.
All right. As we move forward with guys getting healthy and everything as far as like the next man up on that offensive line, what are you seeing from the young Tylers and everything else out there that's giving you a positive, I guess you could say, outlook on the rest of the season? And do you see any way for them to carry this momentum and keep it going into to try to build something maybe to get to this postseason if possible?
This is my the confidence. Out of all the groups, I think the secondary and offensive linemen have to be of one accord because you got so many things that can happen. You got people lining up, but you got to deal with stunts. You got to deal with games. You got to deal with blitzes. Well, whereas in the secondary, you line up, you got to deal with the crossing routes. You got to deal with the underneath. You got to deal with the rubs. So we have the most to deal with besides that quarterback. So all of these things, they have to begin to play together. They have to stay healthy. The left guard is not going to get healthy. He has a bad knee. He's going to be hobbled all year. But our two tackles, the right tackle is who he is. Our left tackle is getting a little bit better. He's getting a little bit better. But the bottom line now is if our three guys, the center and two guards can gel, we can help the tackles.
Yeah.
But we need, and coming this game here, we need for these three guys in the middle to be at their best. And this is the third game that they've been together?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead on.
Oh, no. It was going – I hate to cut you off because I get excited when you start talking about these guys need to come together because we all know I've been the guy that said, hey, it's been the next man up. And for those first few weeks, seeing them play against New York Giants defensive line, holding those guys up. We seen what type of performance they did against the Green Bay Packers, who some people have them as Super Bowl favorites. Do you think that they have the capability of playing to that caliber of that level with the Eagles coming in right now? Because you have Jalen Carter, the DM.
Yes, sir.
Like
you have Love. Not Love, but Jordan.
Jordan Davis.
So, like, with them playing the Eagles' stout front like that, do you think they have that capability of meshing well? And like,
they've had, this will be their 4th game back together or their 3rd game. Mm-hmm. They should be rounded into shape. Mm-hmm. Their defensive ends are nice. Mm-hmm. But they're not great. Just like I think we got decent defensive ends, but our middle is nice.
Yes, sir.
If we can get a few whams, get a few quick traps, some quick hitting plays that can keep these 2 guys in the middle busy. Yep. You have to always keep them busy. Don't let them have a chance to think. Everything's got to be quick. No slow developing stuff. Whatever it is, it got to hit quick. And these guys got to be technique sound. As when I played, and I played against, and I'll say Philadelphia, Reggie White, when they go into the bar, they have Jerome Brown, and they have, I can't even think of the 2 other guys over there, Mike Golick. Y'all heard him on the radio. Mike Golick. They had these 3 guys in the middle. We was hitting quick.
Yes, sir.
And we threw technique out the window, bro, because it was a dogfight. Yes, and so, if I got a hole in early in that game, it was okay. I had to get it done. You see what I'm saying? So these fellas got to get it done. But what Coach cannot do is give up on the run game too early. Mm-hmm. If they force you into that, that's one thing. Don't give up just because, And
I hope we don't give up on the run because we seen it in the first few plays when Javonte first came out there. It was an 8 or 9 yard run on his first run going on. Like, trusting your running back, but like you said, when you said a wham block, for viewers out there in America, if you don't understand what a wham block is, a defensive lineman hates this. This is where you have the 3 interior guys, and your guard is going to go really quick, and the center is right there, and it's so quick to where you're getting ear-holed, and next thing you know, you're not getting off the ball. And so for him to say, we need to incorporate some more wham blocks to slow down Jalen, and if we could slow him down in the middle, I think that's going to set up the play-action run, and we get to see the 1A, and Javonte Williams then make it a Dak Prescott.
Just keep Javonte, unless he, I'm with Nate on this one, unless he tapping out, unless he's saying, man, I'm tired, I done carry these guys, but keep that brother in the game, man.
And I think that the numbers have proven over the years that anytime Dak has some true balance, and he's not throwing the ball 30+ times a game, I believe his record is more so a winning record. So that goes on to say that that is definitely important. Another thing that I think that the Cowboys can honestly do going into this game as well against the Eagles is look at it as almost like we got to get some revenge here, okay? They got the first game against them, and of course, any type of division game goes for 2 games. So if anything, and trying to stay second in this division and in the conference as well, they're gonna have to try to get this get back on this one right here. Now, one of the things that I definitely wanted to talk about though, Cowboys 4 sacks, 1 interception. All right, but those 4 sacks. That's big, of course. Yep. And one of theirs, I guess you could say, it's their second best game as far as when it comes to sacks and pressures. They had 5 against who was it?
Jets.
Don't forget the safety as well.
Oh yeah,
If Newey was here, he would say his shout out to his Omega friend. But
hey,
young pup, he got the safety. So this was a really great defense.
He forgot to do the dance.
I thought he was, but it was Founders Day. Like that would have been perfect timing. So shout out to Newey and them boys, man. They don't put on.
Safe travels to Newey when you get back here. We're gonna hold it down for you. But we gotta take this second break, pay some more bills. It's the Players Lounge right here, brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming. Stay tuned.
Life is a workout, and Smoothie King is here to help you power through. Whether you're maxing out overhead presses, pushing through chest flies, or being the hero your golden retriever needs to carry them over that scary bridge, Smoothie King has the fuel to help you go all out. Build muscle and boost your recovery with 45 grams of protein, 0 grams of added sugar, and delicious customizable ingredients in the Gladiator Smoothie. Available in chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. Only at Smoothie King.
Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Kyle Yeomans here, sharing that same team that brought you Buffalo, bringing NFL casino games that show America's team on and off the reels. Aristocrat is changing the game with a new experience. Football fans, this means you can pick your team and play your team. Check out the Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Gambling problem? Please contact the U.S. National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Cowboys Nation, it is time to get the giving season going. Yes, you heard it right. Tune in, see a multi-award-winning artist and Cowboys fan, Post Malone, perform during the Salvation Army Red Kettle Kickoff halftime show this Thanksgiving. You heard it right, this Thanksgiving on CBS. Every donation stays in the community to provide help and hope for those in need. So tune in, watch the Cowboys, Chiefs, Post Malone this Thanksgiving, and give joy at the SalvationArmyUS.org.
Wow, man. So what's school you went to, bro?
Oh, man.
Give him a voiceover job. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Welcome back to the Players Lounge, brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming. I am your host today, Anthony Dorsett, joined by Nate Newton, Demontre Moore, and Barry Church. All right, now, moving forward, okay? Because, like, we got to keep this momentum going. We got to try to build off of this. Next week, we got a serious team coming in here, of course. Number one in the division, of course. We're talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. And we mentioned, this game being a conference and a division game, So I'm going to throw this out there to you. What can the Cowboys do or use off of this game here to try to stay consistent in going into this next Philly game?
Just the same game plan, minus the two guys missing the first series or so. Just come with the same. So come with the same game plan. Be physical. Let your emotions start the game, but let your execution end the game. Okay. Because they're gonna come out and try to throw a punch at us. They're coming to us. So when you come in there, they're gonna try to throw an early punch. If we can get through that early punch and not let them get too far ahead, we don't get too far ahead that we get the big head, that we should be all right. I'm not saying I'm a realist, and I deal with the middle of offenses and defenses, and that means both defensive and offensive lines in the middle. Who gonna win that battle? If we can win the inside battle, I'm talking about versus their center and guards, and we win that, we got a chance to win this game. But if we lose that,
Trey, what do you see that we could use as far as what the D-line showed you this past week to stay consistent with that, to build off of that and go into this game against Philly?
Well, knowing Shotty like how I know him coming in under a Pete Carroll lineage, Pete used to always talk about competition. Shotty talked about competition since day one. He coming in there just from trash can basketball, that little nuance. Well, if I know him like I think I do, I think Shawnee's going to go in there and he's going to lean off of that momentum. He's going to bank off of having that snowball effect. Quentin Williams, you came in here and you barely knew the scheme and you got 1.5 sacks already and you only had one coming into the year? Come on, man. This is made for you. Hey, Kenny Clark, you've been a ferocious monster since the day that we traded for you, and you have set the momentum for this defense. Guess what? You got help now, brother. Go do what you going to do. Hey, Overshawn, young guy. Hey, you just got back, Overshawn. Young pup. pup. It's time to hunt, and you're gonna graduate from being a young pup to the big dog. I need you to attack like that. Logan, hey man, you've always been a starter. Well, guess what? This is a new place and a new environment. Lead us, leader. Go out there and do what you do. The rookie doing what he does, and then from there, you're gonna talk them up to make them run through a brick wall and say, hey man, Eberflus, do what you've been doing. Show us we're in the foxhole with you, because guess what? The carpenter has his tools. So be excited right now. Use that momentum, and then you challenge them, because guess what? What this is going to come down to, as Nate, like you said, it starts in the trenches. I want to see if our D-line outplays they D-line, and if y'all do that, I guarantee we'll win, because Dak and them are going to do what they need to do. D-line, go get their sacks. They got a guy that's coming. They got 2 guys that they're talking about coming in here. Well, guess what? Our 2 guys, guess what? We got 3 guys. We got Kenny Clark, we got Quinn Williams, and we got Osa in the back end, and not to mention everybody else. We need to outplay them. So I think that's what it's going to come down to win this game right now.
Church, what can the secondary do with the new addition of the 2 new guys coming back, and as far as Revel and Case Clark, and I'm sorry, Kalen Clark, and what can they do to stay consistent? Minus Diggs, but like Bland just stepped up and played a hell of a game yesterday. What can the secondary do to keep this ball rolling in the right direction?
You gotta keep focusing on that technique. You gotta lock in on the fundamentals and the basics. You know, don't go out there doing stuff that you don't practice on the football on a practice field. Like if you're a guy that loves to play off technique and you're a man-to-man coverage, lock in on that. You know, focusing on your off technique. Don't be a guy that's just, I'm gonna try this or I'm gonna try that. That's how you gonna get beat. That's how you gonna give up those explosive plays. We've seen it earlier in the year against Chicago. You got my guy, Diggs, up and down, but he jump jamming cats and letting people run around him. Focusing on your techniques, lock in. And that communication has got to be big time in the secondary. You guys all got to be on the same page. If you're all wrong, you're all right. At least you're playing the same scheme. And I feel like Logan Wilson's going to do a great job of making sure everybody's playing within the system there. And secondly, as a whole defense and a team, basically, the big dogs got to show up. Like this is a game, a division game against one of the best teams in the National Football League. Right. You can't go missing. It can't be one of them games where, I want to show out against the Raiders, but here comes Philly, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know what's going on. You gotta, all your big dogs have got to show up offensively and defensively. And when it comes to the coaching staff, don't do anything too cute, man. Don't go out there and say I got to do this reverse trick pass or this, I got to do this flea flicker here to get yardage. You're talented enough on the outside. You're talented enough in the backfield to get the job done. Stay balanced, stay within yourself, and that goes for the coaches, that goes for the players as well, but the big dogs got to show up, man.
First and goal. Don't. First and goal, juggernaut. Give it to him.
Right.
Mm-hmm. At least 2 times, and then if you want to try something fancy after that,
yeah,
stick to it, man.
One of the things I think that is kind of playing to the Cowboys' benefit right now is a little bit of the controversy that is going on with that Philadelphia offense. All right, now they definitely got a 1A and a 1B or 2 1s over there, but they ain't figured it out like the Cowboys have yet. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely playing into their benefit. And then not to mention that Saquon just has not had those games that we saw or we're used to him having as far as from last year, where he was just putting up 100 yards after 100 yards after 100 yards. So with that being said, and hopefully, like we talk about, build off all the small victories, okay? It does not matter what they are, just building off all these small victories. Hopefully that will give the Cowboys a little bit of a momentum going into this game right here, and then to hopefully try to figure out a way to not only be competitive, but to actually get a W again this weekend. All right, now the transition into this is going to be, okay, how do we stop Smith, number one? He's basically their go-to guy. All right, we already see that Brown has been complaining. He just had a meeting with the owner and everything else like that. But what we talk about, Philly always finds a way to do what?
Win the ball game.
Win the ball games. All right.
So can I ask y'all this then? With Philly always finding a way to win, they're the number 1 team right now. The Cowboys, the playoffs aren't completely going yet. Their aspirations for it. If they come in and get this win, should this have excite Cowboys fans? Does this let them know that they're a rival or they're really a playoff caliber team and contender? Do you think that with this win?
If you're on the roster, you can't think that. If you're on the team, now I get it. Fans and everybody, I'm like, yeah, we've arrived, but You can't think that, man, because, this team has been on such a roller coaster ride right now. They got to continue to stack these victories. They got to continue to just focus on getting one win at a time. When you start looking at, oh, man, we got a better chance now to get to that, to get to that tournament and get a foot in there, that's when, a team will sneak up on you, like the Arizona Cardinals or Charlotte or, Carolina or something like that.
Charlotte.
They play.
The Bears.
They play the
seven
Bears.
Bears.
It's like you just got to lock in one win at a time, and then after the season's done, you look up and you either in there or you ain't. But if you look too far in the future, man, it can get ugly quick.
Because we have been the drugstore Cowboys. I promise you, bro. Everybody been using us for a drug. The thing that the thing that this team has to do, you are not good enough to play your best every week.
Right.
You're not good enough not to study film. You're not good enough not to break the rules of the offense or the defense. You're not good enough. And that's hard for us to take as alpha males, all of us. Nature is just not good enough. Well, Jerome Brown showed me that, so I had to watch a little extra film.
Yeah.
Reggie White showed me that, so I had to watch a little extra film.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So I can level up. So you're not good enough to be in desperate mode, but you are good enough to study your film and do the extra work.
There it is.
There it is.
Hey, it's been a good day today.
Great day.
Victory
Cowboys.
Tuesday.
That's right. Cowboys back on the
Tuesday.
W, And thank you for tuning in. It's been the Players Lounge brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming. Once again, I am your host, Anthony Dorsett. We had Nate Newton, DeMontre,
The greats.
and Barry
Yes,
Church.
sir.
Y'all make sure y'all tune back in tomorrow. We'll be right here again.
Perfect read.
Yes, sir.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this,